Hello everybody, this is Fernando for the latest Ghosts and Spirits Encounters video. Once again, I'm mixing another one of these in here from the reddit.com website. They are from the subreddit Shadow People. I always find the topic of shadow people fascinating because it's real. People do see them, they are a danger. These things apparently like invoking fear and enjoy it at the same time. So all these encounters and strange occurrences there from the Shadow People subreddit, there's just too many of them to obviously think that they're fake or there's anything not real associated with them. And it's always interesting to see what other people in the comments will say afterward, because there are people here within this audience that do encounter them as well. What makes this entry so fascinating is the fact that not only does it deal with a shadow person, but apparently a shadow dog. That's a first, I think, when it comes to this channel. So without further ado, let's go ahead and let's share this entry. It's from a user by the name of Ordinary Dependent 90, and they titled theirs as Shaggy Long-Haired Dog and Shadow Man. So once again, let's share this entry here, and then I'll give my own thoughts and opinions on it afterward. So here's what they state. Has anyone else seen the long-haired shaggy black dog with white glowing eyes, almost looking like into a diamond or a beautiful moon? And he comes with a shadow man not too far behind him. I don't know how to explain it without starting at the beginning. So I was at a church and was doing some things I shouldn't have been doing, and on the hill sat a pretty black dog with medium coarse hair. It would never look at me or acknowledge me that I existed. It just sat there at first. But after staring at it a minute, I got out of the car and started to call it because I wanted to take it home. Well, my boyfriend thought that I was crazy and told me that nothing was there and that I needed to get back in the car and so on. And so when I turned around, now the dog was gone. So we went on home. I got home and I could see the dog and hear the dog now in the field in the tall grass by the barn next to my house. But the more I called and yelled at it and so much more, it ignored me. Again, even ignoring my own existence in its world. So days go by and I go to pick up my boyfriend from work late one night, and I saw it again as if it was running beside my car and doing a really good job at keeping up with me too. Well, I get to his work to get him, and the dog is now there too, walking alongside the car. Well, then he disappeared again. So days go by, me and my boyfriend, we are driving down the road arguing. So I pull over and I pull down into the creek bed. While I was arguing with him, I noticed a dark shadow figured man leaning in towards the car as if he was listening to us. Then I turn around and I see the same shaggy haired black dog, but this time it was looking right at me. And it was so pretty that I didn't want to look away. But something told me to turn on the headlights on, and so I did, and he disappeared again. To make a long story short, I went crazy. Well, I thought I was crazy, so I put myself in a mental institution or hospital, however you want to call it. And well, when I got out, I really thought I was better, at least I did, and that I wasn't going to be seeing anything else, no other shadow people or dog. But well, was I wrong, because when I got out of the hospital and went home with the meds that they put me on, I was now in my house, and my Aunt Rita and my cousin Christine went to take their dog out. Well, they were standing out back by the house talking to each other, and the next thing I know, Christine came running into the house crying, saying there was a big black dog that was huge that just jumped over the cattle gate, flat-footed as well. Well, I know then that I wasn't crazy, because now two other people have now seen this dog. I didn't know what to do because I was just seeing it in person, but also in my dreams. And I'm talking about recurring dreams, like the same dream now for over 6 months, every single night. I didn't know what to do, so it now followed me around for a year and a half. And I just know it's going to come back one day afterward. Does anyone know what they are? Has anyone else see them? I know it scares the crap out of me, thinking that any day they could show themselves again. Anyone have any thoughts? And then that's it. That's everything from this user, Ordinary Dependent 90. So let's go ahead and let's talk about that here. So as you can see, pretty unique encounter involving first with a black shadow dog. Now, the first thing that comes to mind on my end is the infamous black shook. That was one of my earliest videos ever on my channel. It's a hellhound, like it's a form of a black dog, but it has very distinct reddish set of eyes. But what made that theory go out the window is that the user mentioned that these eyes were glowing in a whitish fashion. In fact, they described it right at the beginning, almost like a beautiful moon or a diamond. And on top of that, when they saw it, eventually, it was popping in here and there. Apparently, they first saw it at a church. Then they saw it at home. Then they saw it next to a barn. And then finally, when they were in a fight with their boyfriend and they went to some kind of creek area, there it was again, but they were looking right at it. They described it as being very, very beautiful. That's a first too. Can you imagine that? Something involving a shadow thing, but it looks immensely, absolutely beautiful to the point where they didn't want to turn away, to the point that they didn't even want to look away. Like, in other words, to have this thing look away from them. But they still got the notion that something quite wasn't right, and so they decided to leave. But that's not all. They had a 2-for-1 encounter when it came to the shadow dog's owner, if you could call it that. Apparently it was a shadow man, and there it was as well, leaning into the car, almost trying to listen in on them. Very creepy when you think about it, because now they have these stalker shadow beings, one a dog, one a man, and apparently it's following them everywhere. They even went to a mental institution. They're on meds. They thought that that would essentially help clear this situation, but lo and behold, they're back on their house, and now they have some of their other family members encountering these things as well. It makes it really creepy too, because apparently they'll show up just randomly, and there's that inherent fear, that knowledge of when are they going to show up again. It could be tomorrow, could be a year from now, but apparently they're going to show up. It's crazy stuff. So if anybody has more information on this, what do you guys and gals think? The shaggy-haired black dog, the shadow dog, is it a black shook? Is it something else entirely different? Why is it beautiful? Why is it apparently so captivating at the same time too? Let me know in the comments below. All right, everybody. Thanks again as always. Take care. Bye.